Hello guys, and welcome to the video. In this video I will be talking about the lasso selection tools in Photoshop. Now the shortcut for the lasso tool is the letter L, and the lasso tool can be found right over here on the tools palette, which is to the left of your workspace. Now when you click and hold on the lasso tool, you can see the menu expands into three other lasso tools. One is the regular lasso tool, second is the polygonal lasso tool, and the third is the magnetic lasso tool. Now you can toggle between all these three lasso tools by pressing Shift L. Just like this, I'm toggling between the three lasso tools. So first I'm going to cover on the regular lasso tool. Okay, so with the normal lasso tool, to make a selection, all you have to do is hold down on your mouse button, click and drag the mouse cursor around the area you want to be selected on your image, and go to the initial point where you have started the selection, and then let go of the mouse, and the area gets selected on the image. Now just like the rectangular marquee tool, if you want to add to this selection, all you have to do is hold down on Shift and draw a second selection, and then the second selection gets added to the first selection. Similarly, to subtract from the selection, all you have to do is hold on Alt, click and drag, make a second selection, and then the second selection gets subtracted from the first selection. With the lasso tool, you do have some options over here, which is the first one is the add to selection, then comes the subtract from selection, and then comes intersect from selection, just like the rectangular marquee tool. Then you have the option of feathering your selection, anti-aliasing the edges. Also you have the option of refining the edge of the selection with the refine edge tool. Next I'm going to talk about the polygonal lasso tool. Now with the polygonal lasso tool, making a selection is very similar to the regular lasso tool, but with one difference, which is selections can only be made in a straight line on your image. So you start from a starting point and click around the area you want to be selected, and go back to your initial point and click over there, and there you have your selection. Similarly to the regular lasso tool, if you want to add to the selection, all you have to do is hold down on Shift, make a second selection, and the second selection gets added to the first selection. If you want to subtract from the selection, hold down on Alt and make another selection, and the last selection gets subtracted from the main selection. Like the regular lasso tool, with the polygonal lasso tool, we do have some options, all the same options available over here, which is add to selection, then subtract from selection, then intersect with selection. We have the option of feathering our selection, anti-aliasing, and of course refining the edge of the selection with the refine edge option. Next I'm going to talk about the magnetic lasso tool in Photoshop. So using the magnetic lasso tool is very simple to using the regular lasso tool, but with only one difference, which is it makes your life a lot more easier working with the magnetic lasso tool, as the magnetic lasso tool sticks to the areas of contrast on your image and helps you to make a selection. Now with this magnetic lasso tool, you do not need to be very precise like the lasso tool, and you still can get a decent selection. Again, with any other lasso tool, holding down Shift adds to the selection, and holding down on Alt subtract from the selection. Now like the other lasso tools, with the magnetic lasso tool we do get some options and some more options. Now the first option is add to the selection, second is subtract from selection, and then comes intersect with selection. Then you have the option of feathering the selection, and then comes the option of anti-aliasing. The extra options which you get is width, contrast, and frequency. Width determines the amount of area you want to be selected from your cursor point. If you enter a larger pixel number, more area will be selected, and if you enter a smaller pixel number, less area will be selected. You need to play around with these pixel numbers to get an idea of how this width option works. Then comes the contrast. Now contrast, with the contrast percentage, you are telling Photoshop how much area to be considered while making a selection. I mean the contrast difference between the different colors of your image. Then comes the frequency. Frequency determines how many points to be created while making the selection, I mean on the path of the selection. And then comes the option of using the pressure on your tablet, which determines again the width of your selection that you are making. And of course lastly comes the option of refine edge to make refinements to the edge of your selection. So these are the 3 lasso tools available in Photoshop for making a selection. Honestly speaking, I really do not use these lasso tools very often because these are very inaccurate and time consuming as far as I'm concerned, and there are other tools of making a selection which are very easy and they require very less time. I hope you guys like this video. If you like this, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Anyways, thanks for watching and have a nice day everyone.